y'all up right there. I am doing my potatoes for my chicken pot pie. I gotta get used to YouTube again. How y'all day going so far? Is it going pretty good? Get in here. We're gonna have us a conversation as we cook. All right. So much is going on. So much is going on today. So in this, I'm gonna do a shortcut. I went and got me two rotisseries. Why? Because I'm making chicken pot pie for me, and I'm making chicken pot pie. Son want chicken pot pie, and I'm sure he'll get Kirby. I'll make sure that she get, a chicken pot pie, because he ain't gonna share. He just simply not gonna share. When I tell you, your kids can eat, I know he can eat. Y'all get on in here. I'm also on Facebook, YouTube. So I don't see no comments yet on YouTube, but I know they flash in and they flash out. And I see comments on Facebook. But I got y'all on. And I shared to Mama's Comfort Cooking on Facebook. I got the oven on 350. These are golden potatoes, but you can use Idaho. You can use whomever you choose. So much is going on. And I say to you all, Mother's Day was a blessing. And like my mom right now, she's in the hospital. All her testing has come out good. She had a bad case of acid reflux. They want to check and keep an eye on her stomach. But see, I thank God, because at least I got to spend time with her for Mother's Day. You don't take no day for granted. You don't never know. I always cut up fresh potatoes when I do my homemade chicken pot pie. And the less liquid that you use in a pot pie, the better. So you don't want to use a lot of liquid. Now you can make it creamy. I can show you several ways to make it even more creamier. If you don't have enough, you can create even more cream by basically using a flour substance. All right. So here we're going to just let that one get in the water like the other ones. I always have you water when you get, if you don't peel your potatoes underwater, I always have you some water to go ahead and put your potato in so that your potato don't turn brown or black spots get on it. That's because you got that potato out. It's dirt done got on it from the peel, and you still haven't put any liquid on it, so it's going to automatically get black spots on it. All right? I know y'all knew that already. All right? And this might splash on me a little bit, but it's okay. So always keep your water. Just get you some water when you're making your potato salad and all that kind of stuff. Keep you some water. So that they don't turn brown. So I was watching several things on the book, and I came across an interesting story. It was a story about a young lady that chose to give her kids up. She went to the fire department, and they couldn't take it. I just learned today, I was this year old. I didn't know the fire department couldn't take your kids if they were not babies. They only take in babies. They don't take in toddlers. So I didn't know that. I thought you go to the fire department and they would take the kids for safety purposes, but they still did their part. They did right. They took her to CPS. But she gave her kids up. Did anybody else see that story? I was watching it earlier today. She said her first baby she's 28 years old. She said she had no help. She had 5 kids. She's 28 and none of the daddies and nobody would help her. And so she said she wanted to go back to college. She wanted to improve her life. And she wanted to do something for herself. And she was tired of being a mom. She just said it. And she told the people that it was too much. She couldn't take it. She felt like she was dying. She said she just didn't want to be no mama no more. And she said she reached out to all the baby daddies and told them to come get their kids or they mamas to come get them if they want them before she went to Child Protective Services. It's circulating all on Facebook. Oh yeah, I saw it today. I was like, wow. Yeah. I can't judge her. Even though on some interviews she was interviewing with somebody, and then the weekend that she gave her kids up, she did go clubbing and stuff like that. But, I can't judge her because if she feel like she's not ready to do it, it's good she gave them away instead of hurting them. I wouldn't want her to hurt those kids. Make sure y'all share me on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all sprinkle me too. That means share. She felt like it was beyond what she could handle. And I mean, like, she did what she think is best for her kids. And I don't know what to say. That's the same way how when we were talking about the lady at church, the pastor had a right to pull the congregation back into some type of order. It ain't about what we go through. It's about the man of God that was running that church. So this young lady, she may be a different type of mama. She could have been raised different. But she said that I'm glad she gave them away. We don't have to agree again, just like we didn't agree. Some of us didn't agree about the church situation. We don't have to agree. But I'm glad she chose to give them away instead of hurting herself or them. If she felt like she had got to that point, that she couldn't take it no more and that she was going to do something, yes. I don't think nothing wrong with that she gave them away. Because at least she loved them enough to know that she wasn't going to do them any justice, keeping them and her mind wasn't together. Now, again, these are just topics. These are just conversations. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. We don't agree with each other. But sometimes, you have to look at that picture. Because see, for me, I grew up in a Pentecostal church. And I know, even in the old-fashioned Baptist church, you wasn't going to get out of hand. They was going to reel you back in. I had a friend that just had a situation at his church where they had to escort a man out. And he went up in the pulpit and pushed the assistant pastor. Why? Because he got mad because they gave this white man some money at the church. Now, I don't know when y'all think order is supposed to be done, but you can't do what you want to on your job. And it ain't about embarrassing nobody, because you wasn't too embarrassed when you did it. Now, that's how my mom and them taught us. You did it in public, we're going to get you in public. You show out in public, we're going to get you where you show out. It ain't about pulling you in no room. You should have thought about that. If that pastor done told that lady all those different times to stop all that stuff, that screaming for no reason. Screaming ain't going to get her nowhere. Your faith is what moved God, not your screaming. My God, from Zion. I mean, it's sad to go to church all the days of your life and don't learn that. She was just, I done went and looked at that video so many times trying to see. I know the type of people that's going against it, Some people gonna go against it for their own purposes of, some people don't like to be corrected. They don't even like rapport at all. They can't stand it. And so therefore they don't think nobody else should do it. But for me, honey, you couldn't make it in the Grand Old Church of God in Christ. You wouldn't make it at all. If you gonna walk in your feelings, don't join that organization. Baby, they gonna pull you to the side, tell you your clothes too tight, tell you they too little, tell you to sit down, tell you out of order. They gonna do it. They gonna do that. Okay, so next we're gonna get these rinsed off. I'm gonna go over here and rinse these off, bring them back, and we're gonna put them on. We're gonna add some salt. You wanna add some salt into, yeah, that's the same one, Tara Bush. It's the same one. It wasn't a different video. You might have saw a clip, but it was a whole video. He even told the whole congregation, I don't want to hear nobody but God. Oh yeah, you couldn't go to my organization. Your feelings would be crushed. You wouldn't make it. Well, I don't think it was a judgmental church. You see, there you go putting everybody in it. See, Angela Moore, be careful with your words. Because everybody didn't do that. Be careful with your words. But, because everybody didn't say nothing to that woman. So, see, that's how things get twisted. That's when you can't have intellectual conversations with people. It's like if I told you something and then you whispered it in the next person's ear. By the time it got back to me, you done changed the whole story. So this is finna go on the stove with some salt in the water. And we are going to cook it until they're fork tender. And then the same way with the young lady that gave up her kids. You can't judge her so harshly. She did it because she said she couldn't take it no more. She had her reasonings behind it. He said he'd been telling her for 4 years to stop it. And he didn't turn the camera on. We can't do nothing with y'all video voyagers, just waiting to get something. Whoever captured that went to that church, they didn't have to release that. It was going to be done whether we saw it or not. Because he said he done called her in the office I don't know how many times. He said he asked her to stop doing all that screaming. I guarantee you right now, if you were out to eat and somebody got up and started screaming in a restaurant, they'd escort you out. Let me get rid of this scammer, and then I'm going to go to my next part of this. I'm finna move quick. Okay, y'all, I had to get rid of that scammer. I'm glad the lady, I'm glad that, now I'm talking about two different topics, but I really am glad that lady, she said she couldn't deal with her kids no more. I'd rather the kids be gone. You could hear her screaming. That lady was screaming. That lady was screaming. She wasn't praising God. She was screaming. And if she was so under the anointing, and if she was so into what she was doing, that pastor didn't scream at her. He said, you stop that. He said, you stop that. And she did. You know why? Because the spirit is subject to the prophet. I bet y'all didn't catch that. The spirit is subject to the prophet. Why she stopped so quick? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, here we go. Turn it back. Okay. So we're gonna pour this. We're gonna pour this into a boiler. We're gonna get another boiler out. Another boiler. The spirit is subject to the prophet. She stopped. That girl stopped so quick. He said, you stop it. You stop it. Hold on one second. She stopped so quick. Hold on one second. I read something. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I read something I wanted to see. Hold on one second, y'all. I understand Miss Angela Moore, but I saw something. Maybe I don't need to deal with it. But anyway, so we got that on. We're going to add a little salt to it. And the reason why I brought it up is because y'all would not let me leave me alone. Everybody kept saying, Tracey, go look at this lady. Go look at what happened to this lady at this church. I said, I ain't seen it. Go back and watch my video. I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I ain't seen it. Go look. I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to tag you in it. Go look. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I go look at it. I thought something bad done happened, like really bad. Because I'm like, okay, this man must be acting arrogant. So this is the next thing we're going to do. We're going to take and we're going to warm up our cream of chicken, our cream of celery, and our canned vegetables. Because you know why? You want to always add heat to your condensed liquids, your condensed things, because it makes them relax so that you don't have these white clumps of stuff in your food. So we got all these cans to pour into this bowl. Okay? So what we're using is veg oils. So we got veg oils, a can of veg oils, a big can. You don't have to go through fresh vegetables if you don't want to. We got sweet kernel corn, because I always add more corn in mine. We got cream of celery. We got cream of chicken. And another can of we got another can of veg oils. So we're going to pour that in just like that. All right? You can cook for your family and they will think you've been slaving all day long. Keep your trash thing and your cleanup will be easy. We're going to put this on the stove after we open up these cans of vegetables. So when I went to look, Deacon Calvin sent it to me. He said, Mother, check it out before you say anything. Because he always steers me right. Because he loves me. And that's the right thing to do. So I went and I looked. And I thought that it was one of these preachers that's hollering at somebody and being rude and nasty. Because some of them can be like that. But he didn't. He walked toward her. He said, you stop that. He told the people to hush her. And then he said, you stop that. And he said it just like I'm talking to y'all. He didn't holler at her. He didn't get aggressive with her. He said, you stop that. Like how you do a baby. You stop that. Put that down before you hurt yourself. It wasn't necessary. And you can call it praise all you want to. And if you do call that praise and worship, then it tells me you really don't know about worship and praise either. Sometimes you got a silent worship. Sometimes you got one. That's my nephew call me sexy. Fly Guy Kills. You don't have to pause for the sexiness. You don't even understand. Hannah had a silent worship. Baby, Hannah had a silent worship. I'm using pie crust. I'm using the pie crust that you can buy. This is what I'm using. I'm just using simple pie crust. Hannah had a silent. And guess what? They judged her too. Eli judged her. He said, woman, you drunk? Are you in this temple drunk? She said, not like you think. But I am with grief. I'm tired of Panana showing them ugly kids in front of my face and I can't have no baby. She said, I'm tired of my husband, other woman, picking at me. He got another woman that keep giving him children and I can't. Yeah, sure did. People that don't understand, they gonna see things only one way. I saw it both ways. I can see it both ways. And I did see it both ways because I went and watched other videos. I said he could take her outside, pull her to the side. But he already done it. And some people don't need to be telling nothing, Carl. I can't go off of what Dietrich Hatton say. I can't go off of them. Because some preachers that be quick to talk about other pastors. Now this how thick you gonna want your stuff. Okay? That's how thick. We're gonna put it on the eye. That's how thick. Okay? And we're gonna let this warm up. And as this warm up, we're gonna probably thicken it a little bit more by adding a little thickener to it. So let me pull y'all a little closer together. Add a little more thickener to it so my eyes will look the same when I'm looking at both of y'all. Because you want to keep this thick, so when it cooks, it will relax itself. So go ahead and put this on the stove and get it warming up as well. Then we're finna cut up the chicken. We'll be through before you know it. Finna put it in the oven. My oven is on 350. You can cook this on 375, but 25 more degrees ain't gonna make no difference. But get it thick. Keep it thick. Do not add water. Do not add water. Do not add liquid. Put it on the stove. And get it warming up. Now we're finna cut up the chicken, okay? So you can go and you can boil chicken. Now when I'm doing dumplings, I do, because I need the broth to make the dumplings. But chicken pot pie, you don't need broth. And when I see people make chicken pot pie, y'all want to see my outfit? I show it to y'all in a minute. So what we want to do, keep using the same dishes. In the morning, in the morning. So, yeah, you drain it. Always drain all your liquid. You drain I drain every can. You don't put no liquid in it. That way it will be thick. You want it condensed because you finna put it on a pie crust. Now, if you want a bottom pie crust, go ahead and put it in the oven for about 10 minutes and blind bake it, okay? I'm not using a bottom crust. I'm only using top crust, and I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times when you use that bottom crust, it take away and make your stuff so dry. So we're using top crust, okay? And I don't need these little wings. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot out there. You're going to take all the skin off of this because you don't need it. You can eat it later. You know we like skin. You don't even need this turkey neck. Just take it and eat it later. Eat some now, save some for later. All right? It depends on how much meat that you want to be cut up. So I bought 2. You can use whatever kind of chicken you want. This is rotisserie, okay? It's the same as being baked. All right? And also, I tell you something else. If you just want to do your chicken, see, I don't care if I do my chicken on chicken pot pie because I don't use no broth. But if you want to, thighs would be the best ones because they cook quick. And you can cook them on top of the stove. And you can use some butter. And you'll be done. I better eat this piece of chicken. But the best thing I can tell y'all, for me, from now on, if y'all don't want to talk about it, don't bring it to me. Now, if I bring it up, that's one thing. But I'm going to see things more than one way. Especially when it comes to the realm of the church. Because you don't know what these preachers go through. Honey, some of y'all hard to deal with. Your own family can tell that you hard to deal with. Some of your family some of y'all too hard to deal with, I promise you. Some of them is just too hard to deal with. Your own family know how you are. They ain't going to say nothing because they don't want to get caught up in it. But I guarantee you, if you probably call some of these people family members, they'll probably tell you that person all the time doing stuff to get attention. Got that attention seeking spirit. So I got this one cleaned. Okay? And I'm going to chop this up. And we're going to put this. We don't have to bake it. We don't have to boil it or nothing like that. But we're going to get it. And we got another one. You know, so we'll make sure we have enough chicken for all the pot pies I'm finna make. The pot pie is my husband's favorite thing. One of them. He got several things, but this is one of his favorites that I make him. And so we're going to make it for him. And then when son found out I was making it for his daddy, he said, I want one. Mama, how you going to make one without me? And I said, all right. So I already know from the last video when I made it, he ain't going to want to give Kelby. He will. He don't want to. So I got to make sure I do enough for her as well. We're going to use the dark meat in this too. If you feel like it's not homemade because somebody else helped you do it, then you go right ahead and you take all the time in the world and you boil your chicken or you bake it or you saute it. But for me, time is money. Time is of the essence. And time just won't give me time. So I like to find time to do something else with my time. And a chicken pot pie, it ain't gonna take that long. All right. Get as much as the meat off of the stuff that you can without putting the hard things and stuff like that in there. Check your bones. Check your cartilage. Things like that. Okay. Let me wipe my hand real quick and check my stuff. All right. You know it don't take long for potatoes to get done. So what I'm going to do, I'm finished cutting this up. I'm finna scrape this one into the container and then we're going to go on with the next rotisserie. It just depends on if they meat. Now my husband, he liked to taste his meat in his, okay? So I load mine with meat. For you, you may say, oh, that's more than enough. But it ain't. I got to use that other chicken. This is not enough. All right? So I'm going to take this one, put it over there in the sauce that I got going. And we're going to cut up another one. I'm going to get another rotisserie out. And I'm going to stir this. See if I figure out what I did with the other one. What I did with it. Oh, here it is. Soon as the potatoes get done, I'm also going to add some celery seeds into my chicken pot pie. The celery seeds, it pops the flavor out really good. Hey, y'all, I got 3 weeks to my reunion, and I'm getting so excited to see the people. I really am. Go ahead again and take all this stuff off. You don't need it. No, I don't have a cookbook for a diabetic. I'm not a diabetic. I hate for people that are. I don't know how. I mean, like, that don't run in our family. Diabetes don't. But what runs in our family is this joint issue I got. I think I gave a testimony about that before. Everybody don't have all kind of elements because they're big, and a lot of my weight is thick because it's from steroids. And I'm on steroids, and I know they're not good for you. And I also got to go have a steroid injection on the 23rd. I got to have back injections of this month. But I don't. You know, I recommend if you are diabetic, and you probably can do a cookbook, because you probably can show other people that are not diabetics how to cook for y'all. All I know is if you can't have it, don't eat it. Sometimes the artificial sweeteners is just as bad. So, and then of course, you know, carbs are carbs. You can do low carb. I think that's what most people do when they do the diabetic stuff. They omit carbs. I think that's what they do. But I don't know how to bake vegan. I don't know how to do all that. I don't have no recipes for it. You know how that goes. You don't think about it because you don't have it. So I'm not sentimental to you all that have diabetes or any other disease. I just, because I don't never think about cooking that way. Now, if I had it, I probably would be just like you, asking a question. You know, do you have any diabetic recipe? But unfortunately, I don't. You know, with respect. That's what respect comes. Ain't nobody asked for none of this stuff that come upon your body. Some stuff we inherit from our family. We ain't asked for it. I'm sure if I had to learn how to do it, I would. I really would. And that's no disrespect at all. Just like when people ask me, why do I sit down? I sit down because I hurt. I sit down because my joints hurt. I sit down because the surgery I had could have left me fully paralyzed instead of having foot drop. But I keep going. I don't use it as no excuse not to run my house. But some days I just hurt. And some days I have to sit down. And some days I don't. I just, you know, and I'm older. We older. We're not younger like we used to be. When you get older, you can't do some things you used to do. Some of y'all move around great. But some of us don't have that story. Woo-wee. Some of us got nightmares. Our joints hurt every time we turn around. Every little step we take, I feel it. Okay? And I tell you, this chicken pot pie be the truth. It be the truth. Now look out for your little fatty stuff. Look out for your little fatty stuff. And like this hard piece, you don't want that. You can eat it, but it's too hard to go in the chicken pot pie. Okay, too hard for me too. Okay, so this is ready to go in there. Okay, we're gonna keep on moving. My mom is doing great. I hope they let her go home today, if she want to. If they feel like she need to stay a little longer. I told her, you ain't got nothing else to do. If they want to keep you longer, stay longer. They just want to keep an extra check on her stomach, make sure, because you know she had that condition one time. So they being very careful and making sure. See, I'm checking for bones. There go a bone. And so, that's all. Hi, Teresa Randy. Okay, I'm finna show y'all the next thing. Hold on. Let me put this in. And we're gonna keep moving. And we're gonna get ready to drain these potatoes. Hold on. We're gonna be ready to drain these potatoes. We're gonna stir this up. We're gonna be ready. I'm gonna show it to y'all. And I can look and determine if I need another can. And those are ready to be drained. Go ahead and clean up your mess. That way you're going to have to clean up later. We had good Bible study last night. Okay. Hold on, I'm coming back. I'm going to drain these taters. Off real quick so you can start cooking. Coming back around. Hold on, y'all. So I want y'all to see what's going on. I'm on YouTube too. Don't add no salt. You can add just some pepper, but you don't want to add no salt because the cream of chicken and all that got salt in it. And I'm gonna go get me some celery seed. Add your little pepper. Hold on, I'll be right back. And I'm checking to see what I got in here. Hold on. Got another can of cream of celery I'm gonna use. And let me open this up. Okay. And we're gonna add another can cream of celery. And then we get ready to put it in the oven. I'll show it to you. Hold on 1 second. And then you want to I add a little celery seeds. Little celery seeds, hold on. And I know I got some open. You inbox me. I don't do inboxes, but I do emails. mamascomfortcooking@gmail.com. I don't know if Deacon Calvin is taking inbox messages. I don't do them. Oh, Lord. I'm going to show y'all how thick it's going to be. Go ahead. YouTube. Facebook. mamascomfortcooking@gmail.com. Hey, nephew Rodney Jackson. It won't be long. I'm sweating. Let me get me a napkin. See, in the summertime, Deacon Calvin say he'll check your inbox. But in the summertime, I cook a lot of one meals. One dish. Can't get this open, y'all. Can't get it open. Wait. And all you'll get an understanding. So shake your celery seeds in there. I'll show you the celery seeds so you know I'm shaking them because they fine and you can't see them. Celery seeds are great and it's going to enhance your flavor. Okay? See all them celery seeds I just put in there? See those celery seeds? You see those celery seeds? Now go and stir it in there. You talking about gonna give it the flavor you think it should have. It's gonna give it to it. I know you don't hear a lot of people say use them, but I do. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is take my bake pan, get whatever size you're gonna use. This is a good size one. And I'm getting ready to assemble. Now I got some frozen pie crust for my kids. So I'm gonna take the pie crust out, use the tin pan. But in this particular one, I'm just gonna use, I'm gonna dump some of it in here, and then I have some for some. Or I could do individual pies. Okay. So I can take this deep dish. You use celery seed? Yes, it's good, isn't it? Truly. It truly is. Got a pretty name. And if it break up, it's okay. So just take this out. I'll take it out. Sometimes these things are on their last leg. All right, take it out. Then you go ahead and you can spray. Yeah. Now I use cream of celery in mine. I use cream of celery and cream of chicken, but you can use whatever you want to in yours. And you fill it as high as you want it. It's a whole pie. And you lay the crust back on top. If it break up, just fix it. It don't even matter. They don't eat it. You can crunch it up if it break up, kind of gather it. Make it look like you did it intentionally. See, watch me. Just kind of push it all in together. Kind of freestyle it with your hand. Break it up a little bit. They'll never know. They just want to know what it tastes like. Don't even worry about nothing else. Gather wherever it's missing and put it on there. Fix it with your own hands. As long as mama fixing it, it don't matter, right? That's all they want is some of mama cooking. So you got one right here. Get all your little crumbs. Brush it with some egg. That's one. And you do the same thing. Well, the reason why I'm not doing bottom crust, again, if you do bottom crust, be ready to serve it right now. Bottom crust will take all your liquid out. Anybody that does a bottom crust and you're not ready to eat it, by the time people cut into it, it's going to be soggy. But to each his own. I'm just showing you how I do mine. But if you're not going to eat it right now, even KFC don't do bottom crust no more. But you can. You do just do what works for you. I mean, I'm only here showing you how I do my stuff. If you like bottom, you do bottom and top. I've done both my own self, but I had to learn that my bottom crust, it wasn't, my stuff, when I got ready to eat it and stuff, my crust was soggy. And so I quit doing the bottom. But you know, like I say, we are only on here cooking. So I browned my crust first at the bottom, and I still didn't like it when I rewarmed my pie up. So everybody is different. There is nothing wrong. Here's another one. I'm going to brush it. I'm going to cut some holes in it. You can blind bake it, but it don't matter, Dick and Calvin. I done it. If I'm not ready to serve this, even if I blind bake it, that's what pre-cooked means, blind bake. I do it. I do it all the time with pies. With my chicken pot pie, I don't like the way it tastes. I don't like the way it feels. I think y'all know if I know how to bake, I know how to blind bake. It still don't do good. Now you may not notice it. You may love it. But I told y'all when I started, if you want a bottom crust, go ahead and blind bake it for 10 to 15 minutes. For me, by the time they get here this evening, that crust ain't gonna be right to me. Not for me. Now it might work for you in your house, but as for me and mine, they don't like soggy crust. And it do get soggy. It's just like a pie. It's just like any other pie you cook. You know good and well if you cook a peach cobbler, if it sits so long, after a period of time, that peach cobbler, that pie, you're gonna be hitting on that. After so long, we're done. Like that song say, oh, so long. Now, again, I ain't judging nobody. You can do it. I don't do it. Now, I can feel this all the way up. I got enough. I got a little corner. I can do one more pie. Or I can take this all the way to the top. And like I tell y'all, you know what worked for you and your household. Nobody can really tell you if you right or wrong on something. It's just the difference is that that's what you like and I don't. That's the only difference. If your family loves the way you do something, don't stop doing it because another cook tell you they don't do it that way. Always cook according to what your family like for you to do. If your family don't want all that extra stuff, they gonna tell a difference when you cook it. They gonna tell you, this ain't how you normally cook this, mama. We didn't grow up with it this way. We don't like it this way. You do what worked for you and your household. Watching me cook, some people put biscuits on top of their chicken pot pie. I don't like biscuits on mine. Some people put canned biscuits. Some people use crescent rolls. You work according to how your household likes the way you do things. I am only here to demonstrate the way I do it. If your family like a certain type of cake, don't change your icing for somebody else. If your family only like 2 layers, don't go make no 8-layer cake. It is off. My cooktop is off. You just see the red thing. It's off. But don't change nothing. I do this. This is the way I do mine. But trust me when I tell you, if you got another way for you and your family, keep doing it that way. And see, my mind telling me I'll do one more pie because son's so greedy. Because I think as a mother, I'm going to stop. I ain't going to put no more in there. Because he too greedy. He going to want 2. But, I'm not going to do that. I know about blind baking. I do it all the time. I blind bake my pie crust before I put my sweet potatoes in there. But I ain't gonna do it on there. No. I used to put a bottom one. By the time they got home to eat it, it wasn't like, Nope. So I'm not doing it. But you do it. Please do it the way you feel like your family would like it. Y'all know how that say. You know Joshua said that. Joshua said, as for me and my house. And if you make your feeling real good, you're going to want that feeling. You're going to want that juice. Your son going to eat 2 of those. He's going to eat 2. So I just kept the other. And I can always make other pies. If my husband want another one, he don't eat that much. You know, when you get older, you're going to draw up or blow up or sum up. And he don't eat that much. So, you know how parents go anyway. We'd rather our kids have than us. We would sacrifice our whole meal so that the kids can eat. Y'all know how us mamas get. If our children want something, we go the extra mile. And I told Willie, when I said I was going to cook it, watch him say, how you just going to cook one for daddy? I want one. How you going to leave me out? You ain't saved. I have to go through all that. And I like pie crust on mine. If you like crescent rolls, ain't nothing wrong with it. If you like biscuits, ain't nothing wrong with it. I promise you. Ain't nothing nobody can do about what you like. And if your family get used to it and that's the way they used to mama making it, somebody else come along trying to change it, You can't change what mama done put in them. I might think your mama can't cook worth nothing. Boy, I wish I would tell y'all mama stuff is not good. That her macaroni soggy, her macaroni soggy, the peas all mushed and the chicken tastes like wood. I wish I would. Y'all would beat me up. Okay, I got one more pie crust I'm gonna open because son, he gonna have to have 2. Now, that ain't your child, so you don't have to worry about the fact that he got to eat 2. Please, I appreciate it, cause you ain't gotta cook for him, so don't talk about him. All right. If everything I gotta do, I created the monster. So I have to deal with it. I'm just going to beat up an egg and I'm going to brush it and it's going to shine it up. You can sprinkle some salt on there if you want to. You don't have to. And that's my version of a chicken pot pie. And it's going in the oven until it's done. Until this pie crust is already done. So until this pie crust get a nice golden flaky, then that's it. I'm going to brush this. All right. I'm going to beat my egg up and brush it. Then I'm going to slice my holes. And when I cook my stuff, I put it on the pan like this. And I get ready to put it in the oven. Okay. And I'm going to it's heavy. And I'm just going to cut some slits in it. Or you can stab it with a fork. But first beat your egg up. Brush it. Stab it with your little forks. And it's ready to go in the oven. Clean up while you cook. And you don't have to worry about nothing. I got to sweep my little floor below me. I'll wipe my stove off. And I'm going to pick plums today. Me and Cousin Spring going to pick plums. Because I was told to come shake the tree. And again, I use celery seeds. You don't have to. Okay? I use cream of celery and I use cream of chicken. If you want to use cream of mushroom, there is nothing wrong with it. Those are the choices that I use for mine. My oven. No, I ain't went and done the corn yet. My oven is on 350. But you can cook it on 375 if you want to. So I'm going to take and get me an egg, and I'm going to brush this up. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Take this egg and beat it. I just love the way my kitchen's set up. I don't have to move. Everything is in this, my baking area. So I beat this egg with a fork. You don't have to separate the yolk. Do the yolk with the white. You don't have to separate it. You can if you want to. Then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to brush lightly. Just brush lightly. It's going to shine it up. You ain't doing nothing but shining it up. Giving it a little shine. You don't have to separate the white. I don't care who told you do, you don't. If all you got is egg whites, use egg whites. You just shining it up anyway. That's all it's doing, is going to give it a nice shine. All right? All you doing is giving it a nice little shine. All right? And that same fork, you just shined it up. And in the same fork, just go ahead and poke you some holes in there. You know, just get you some pokes in there. So it can breathe. That's all. See, that looked like there was a little piece of chicken want to come out of there. There you go. Just for it to breathe. And that is ready to go in the oven. If the bottom, then the bottom first. What you say? To each his own. You can cook a bottom crust if you want to. Pie boiling it is not always your answer. Pre-cooking it is not the answer for everything. This doesn't have no liquid in it, okay? I'm telling you from my experience. Can't nobody tell me. You can't really tell nobody, because if they go mess up all their money because you like a soggy crust. If you don't like soggy crust, it's not going to stay the same way. You can bake it until you burn it. But what's going to end up happening is it's going to dry when you get ready to rewarm this up again. That crust on the bottom is not going to warm up the same. But if you don't have a crust under the bottom and you want to set this same pie crust back in the oven, it will warm up. But when you have a crust on the bottom, that bottom crust will not warm up the next day the same way. But do it. The only way you gonna know is if you do it. Because some people, you can't tell them nothing. They just not gonna hear it. They think they do it, and so they think you gonna do it. But for me, I know for a fact, mine, that I bake, the consistency, if I put a pre-cooked, just put it in the oven for 10 or 15 minutes before I put stuff on it, it's still not going to warm up. The reason why we don't mind it with our sweet potato pies, because we know our sweet potato pie crust going to get soft. But this ain't sweet potato pie. And that's the same way when I make my apple pies. I put my crust on top because I don't want no soggy crust on that pie on the bottom. Now you can take this same pie crust if you want to, and you can fry it if you want to. But I'm talking about when you got to rewarm it up, it's going to be soggy. Now take this tomorrow with a crust under the bottom and see if you can put it in the oven and that bottom crust turn out. No, what you're going to have to do is stir it up. Add another can of cream and chicken and stuff. I done it. Now that old crust is on the inside. And you're going to have to lay a new crust on the top. I know what I'm talking about. Done it too many times. No, sir. I'm not going to be able to do that. But, you know, to each his own. That's all I'm going to tell you. But if you eat mine, you ain't getting it. You're not going to get it. I'm telling you that right now. Go ahead and brush these. We're going to put these in the upper oven. I found out about my new stove. The upper, if I put something on the upper shelf, it cooked too fast in this new stove. So, I'm going to use the other oven. Because I got 2 ovens now, y'all. I ain't always had that. Some of y'all can say, oh, I've been had it. I'm so happy for y'all. Be happy for me. For the people that ain't never had 2 ovens, be happy for me. It may not be much to you, but I'm so grateful for it. I can get 4 cakes going if I want to. But I don't do that. And if you do it, that's okay. How do you cut a slice of apple pie? The pie, well, you can cut it. There's a lot of ways. Some people, let me explain something to you. Some of y'all call pies cobblers. And y'all have a pie. But there's a lot of people, if you go to a restaurant, a lot of them will scoop you out some and call it a pie. And it ain't a pie. Just like a cobbler got juice and a pie don't. So you can cut it. You done ate plenty of pies that you tried to cut that your grandmama and your mama cooked, and it didn't turn out like you saw in the magazine. But did that mean you didn't eat it because you only had an upper crust and not a bottom? It's still pie. Well, why do you call a pie a cobbler then? What's the difference between a cobbler and a pie? Baby, don't play with me. Because I tell you right now, I know what I'm talking about. Half of y'all don't even realize that when y'all call something a cobbler, it ain't. It ain't even no juice in it. I done seen some of these peach pies be called cobblers. I'm fixing me a peach cobbler. Ain't no juice in it. A cobbler got juice in it. But I promise you, if I gave you some apple pie, a peach pie, and you only had an upper crust, you gonna eat it. Because when they bring it out in a restaurant, they be done scoop that pie so much. This ain't Mayberry. You ain't finding nobody right now from Mayberry where your piece of pie is cut in a triangle and it's perfect. Baby, you can quit lying to yourself. This ain't Mayberry. Ain't Aunt Bay. Ain't Aunt B. If I ain't got no bottom pie crust and you don't want to eat it, then don't eat none. That's what my mom used to tell us. If you don't like the way I fix it, then don't eat it. That's all it is. My name ain't Aunt Bay. I ain't even on top shelf. I ain't even got my own cooking channel. I'm sitting here cooking and talking to y'all. You do all the pie crust you want. Is that a pie crust when you just take cake mix and cut butter on top? It's a crust, ain't it? You eat it, don't you? What is a crunch cake when your cake don't be crunchy? What is a crumble cake when your crumbles melted because your butter wasn't cold enough to mix the flour? Is it wrong to cook a pound cake with self-rising flour? Or do you have to use all-purpose because you say so? I mean, I can go on and on if you want me to. But I ain't Aunt B. Aunt B, Aunt Bay, whatever her name is. I ain't Opie and I ain't Andy. How you gonna cut a slice? The same way you scooped it out and quit lying. Quit sitting outside patting flies, telling lies. The same way you scoop it out right now. Cause the apple pies I grew up with, baby, it was scooped out. You done dug all in the middle of it. You ain't took your time. And they wasn't all in no pie pans. They wasn't all, my granny didn't have no pie pans. That whole pie was in a long sheet pan. Quit lying. How you gonna eat it? You gonna eat it the same way? You better learn how to eat it. Don't be asking me how you gonna eat it. You gonna eat it the way we give it to you. Ain't that what your mama used to tell you? You gonna eat it just the way I give it to you. And these is finna go in there. They finna go in the oven. You ask Aunt Bay where the pie crust is. Don't ask me. This ain't Mayberry. Now this Tracey Berry. You have to ask Aunt Bay that. Whatever her name is. Y'all know her. I don't even know her name. Aunt B. Aunt B. Aunt Bay. Whatever. Bay, Blade, K. Same way you finna ask me another dumb question. Don't ask it. Please don't ask me why I didn't make my pie crust, cause somebody else made it. You ain't got a tambourine, keep your pie crust pan, it'll be the same. In the morning, it'll be the same. That's why y'all throw these away? Baby, I'm not gonna argue with y'all today. Not today. Not me. I have to get somebody else. Some of y'all know more than me. I don't even know why you watching. If you know more than me and I'm doing it wrong, don't come critique me. Start you a page. This is gonna be a little small one. That's all I had left. Son won't care. He just want to be able to have more than one. This gonna have plenty of crust for you crust lovers. This got more filling, more crust than filling. But that's it. How you gonna cut a pie, apple pie, if you ain't got no crust on the bottom? Now, I done heard it all. Baby, I done heard it all. I done really heard it all. Cut it like you do anything else. You cut it, and you scoop it, and you put it where it need to go. But that's all I can tell you. I ain't gonna be able to help you no more after this point. And this is going in the oven. This is the kind. So what, Jermaine? I let it go if you leave the page. Somebody tell Jermaine Robinson he can leave. Then he won't hear me. Because he was the one still trying to stir stuff up. So I ain't going to let it go, Jermaine. So you better go on and go. Y'all tell Jermaine bye. I'm going to do just like your mama do. You know how us mamas, we fuss till we decide to let it go. Ain't that what we do? Y'all tell him he can leave. We ain't holding him hostage. Hold on. So, now I'm gonna put this last one in the oven, and YouTube, I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll have to send y'all a picture or a reel when they get done. Thank y'all so much, YouTube, and I'm gonna see y'all later, YouTube. I gotta deal with these folks over here on Facebook, okay? Cause they don't know how to act like y'all do. I'm gonna see y'all later. I gotta figure out how to end it. I think that's it. Okay.